Deborah, thank you for joining us. Now tell us, you're running for supervisor of elections. Tell us a little bit about your area and why you're running.
Well, thank you. So I live in Seminole County, specifically in the city of Longwood. And so this is a small in size county just north of Orlando, but we have a large population. So I am running for supervisor of elections, and that office is actually a county-wide office. So every county in Florida elects their supervisor of elections. The other thing a lot of people may not know about this role is even though you would think this would be nonpartisan because it should be neutral, fair, not think about your party
It should
affiliation.
be, right?
It should be, but it's not. So in the state of Florida, in every county, it is a partisan seat. But I will say that, almost everyone who runs at least agrees in language and words that it should be neutral and you should not give favoritism to anyone.
Mm. Good, good, good.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about you and why you joined the race.
Well, thank you. So, kind of going way back to why I got involved in politics. So,
Yes.
in the past, I considered all politicians corrupt, that they were all in it for the wrong reasons, that if you got involved, you would be corrupt. Everyone was bad. That was my opinion. And then someone knocked on my door, I think it was around 2017, and they said they were talking about a city candidate, and they told me why they liked this person, why I should vote for them. And I said, I looked at him though, and I was like, it's a hot day. I said, why are you doing this? And he said, I love this person. I know her family. I would do anything for her. And that was the first time I thought to myself, a candidate could be a good person.
Mm.
She won her election. And I said, okay, I'm going to get more involved. And so I met another candidate. Same thing, good person, just like me. She won her election.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, the next election was 2020. And I said, what's the most I can do? And I said, the most I can do is be the kind of candidate I want to see more of.
Oh, I love that.
And that's when I decided to run.
I love that. Change, be the change you want to see. Can't
Mm-hmm.
get better than that.
Yes, that's exactly it.
And you highlighted someone that I like to call out, which is the canvasser. They are the unsung heroes of the election cycle. And we all need to thank those people who, and you'll find it's a lot of the same people, they will really go out and canvas, knock on those
Mm-hmm.
doors. And we know it because we're a little closer to the election cycle, but we folks on the outside too don't understand how they do have to remind people to go vote. Like it's so
Yes.
crazy.
It is so important. There are a lot of people, working people who are really busy, people raising their families. They don't have time to watch the news. They are just trying to do what they need to do for their families. And so they do need that reminder, and they do need that access to information to help them decide who they want to vote for, which is
Mhm.
one of the reasons I'm passionate about being supervisor of elections is because there's a lot of things a person in this role can do that can make it easier for people to vote. Not compromising election security in any way, but just making access to voting. So I just want to mention two things for Seminole County. The first is prepaid postage for the mail ballots. So in
Mm.
other counties, when you get your envelope in the mail and your ballots in it, the envelope that you send it back in has the postage paid already, but not Seminole. So everyone gets a note and it says you have to remember to put, and they'll give you the cost of the stamp. They'll say a 73-cent stamp, and everyone's like, is that one stamp? Is that two stamps? Is my stamp a 73 cent? So it's a barrier. And a lot of times it's the barrier for the people who really need that mail ballot the most, like
Mm.
shut-ins, people who are disabled, elderly people, or even just younger people who are away at college or work jobs where they can't just walk away and vote. They're paying
Mhm.
a fee at their job. So I think the postage is very important. I also want to mention access to information in different languages. So
Yes.
in Seminole County, by federal law, they must provide information in Spanish because Spanish is a recognized minority language for this county. And so our current supervisor of elections office does it halfway. And the part that bothers me the most is when you call, they always use an automated phone system. Always, always, always. They never get a live person to answer. And that system has 30 seconds in English before you get anything in Spanish that says, press 5 to get Spanish. And it's a barrier that if you rely on Spanish, you will not listen to that 30 seconds of it's actually extremely unnecessary information for that 30 seconds. So that's something I want to change. And then I also want to make sure that we do provide information in additional languages, not just the ones that are required by law.
Man, just important. I love it. And a lot of folks don't realize how large Seminole County is. I mean, I don't know if maybe it was not as active before, but like Seminole County is coming out. Like you guys are really energized this election season. Have you seen? Is it that there are more voters in Seminole County, or just more energized people in Seminole County?
I think Seminole County is more energized in this election cycle. Yes, I do. And I think, we're a great place to raise a family. We have a lot of younger people here. And so they're energized by the candidates and just getting more involved. Actually, in some of the meetings I've been to, like we have tripled or quadrupled the number of people that usually come. So
wow,
a lot of energy.
Wow. Yeah, that's excellent. That's excellent. Well, in terms of statewide, I've never actually really discussed supervisor of elections office. So, are there any things that you guys also kind of guide policy on outside of your district?
So, the supervisors of elections will give recommendations and feedback to the legislature about different things they're considering. And, quite a few of the new laws that have been passed, the supervisors were not in favor of parts of them. And so it's a professional organization. So they get together and they make their recommendations as a group. So I would be a part of that group.
Interesting. Okay. Well, Deborah, tell us about anything else that, if there's anything else you want to share with our viewers and listeners, definitely share it, and then tell us how we could support you.
Oh, thank you. Well, one thing to remember in the state of Florida is you have to be registered to vote 30 days before the election. So that's October 7th. But a lot of people don't realize that if you're already registered in the state of Florida and you need an address change, you can do that after October 7th, but I'd much prefer you do it ahead of time. You should just always call your supervisor of elections office if you're not sure, and just call them directly and ask your questions. You can call the supervisor of elections office to request your mail ballot. So if you don't want to figure it out online, I always think a lot about older people. A lot of older people are not going to go online and push all the buttons to ask for their mail ballot. So they can make that phone call. And it's easy to find your elections office online. Just search it.
Easy to find. Awesome. And I'm not going to let you out of here without you saying you're in an election cycle. Like folks need to donate. They need to canvass. What do you need help with? Make your pitch.
Thank you. I'm going to make my pitch. But actually, there is one thing I usually say, because the question that people always have in their mind after I introduce myself is, how did she say her last name? What is true. That last name? Unless you speak French, in which case you're going to say it better than I do. But so this is how I tell people to say my last name. So first you think of an alien, a space alien like E.T., something nice and not scary. Then you think of a swimming pool. Think of the alien jumping in the pool. And I am Deborah Poulalion. I am the alien in the pool. Poulalion.
Poulalion.
It lost its French flair, but it's easy to say. Poulalion. So
Deborah Poulalion.
Deborah Poulalion. If you're in Seminole County, I need you to remember my name. So Deborah Poulalion. To reach out to me to get information about me, my website, you don't have to spell this last name, my website is Deb, the number four, elections.com. Deb, the number four, elections.com. And there you can find me online. I do appreciate donations. I will say that I do a lot with very little. I don't have any paid staff. Everything I do is done with volunteers, or I do it myself. So if you make a $20 donation, it will literally be $20 in postage. There's no overhead with me. So it's
Yes.
appreciated. If you live in Seminole County, I can use the volunteers to knock on the doors, to meet people at the farmers markets, which is I love. I will be at Oviedo Farmers Market on Saturday, and just even writing postcards. So many opportunities. I'd love to meet anyone who is in Seminole County.
Love it, love it, love it to get involved. Well, thank you for joining us and good luck. And if we're out and about, we'll see you at the Seminoles at the Oviedo Farmers Market.
Farmers Market, yeah.
It's what, Saturday?
Saturday, yeah, and I'll be at the Latin Jazz Fest in Castleberry. So, yep,
Okay. All
anything
right.
like that. I know when your listeners hear this, those events may have passed. Just go to the next one. I'll be
Yes.
there.
You'll be in the community. Good
Yes.
luck and thanks for
Thank you.
joining us.
Thank you very much.